So, very interesting weekend posting a video, which was, it was a beautiful day. It was a Saturday by the beach. I threw on a t-shirt, jeans and jandals, and then, inspired to record a couple of videos. And oh my God, who knew that people were so obsessed with breasts and judging others' appearances and can't get beyond that to talk about policy? Well, that's not true. I've had such amazing feedback on policy and such amazing discussions. So that's been fantastic and heartening and inspiring and supportive. And I'm really grateful to see people engaging intellectually. And I actually throw my giraffe for one of my dogs all day long. It's called multitasking. But look, I want to address the online bullying thing, because there is nothing wrong with a woman's body, and there's nothing wrong with seeing the womanliness of a woman's body. A little bit of cleavage, especially when you've got large breasts, let's face it, is often going to show up. And I don't even think about it when I get dressed in the morning, especially on a weekend when I'm casual. So I think the fact that people feel free to publicly disparage and judge and talk about appearance when it's supposed to be about policy is sort of a sad indictment on our culture when they're being negative. Some people were just being humorous and making a joke, and what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with having a humorous observation about something, but and I think when it's done in a positive way, there's nothing wrong with it. But the interesting thing is that it was the woman who attacked based on appearance, and in a negative way, and some of them very viciously. And one of them was actually a person who was set up by set on me really by another unregistered political party, which is a little bit low. But the point is that all that, and such vitriol and nastiness, which really actually only shows in a hate, like a self-reflection, or a trigger, when someone triggers something in you that creates an emotional reaction to based on appearance or image, or your feeling about yourself, or policy, whatever. But it's when someone is attacking another person online, it's just a reflection of their own inner demons. It's their own inner dark energy that they need to clear, and can energetically clear with meditation. And that's not Fruit Loopy to say that. Energy, everything is energy. That's physics, and we need to pay more attention to rebalancing our energy. But what's interesting is that it's just such a patriarchal society, a societal kind of notion that a woman should be ashamed of herself if her femininity is shown. A woman should, cover up to be respected. You can't be respected if you have cleavage. That's insane. It's not as though I had no top on and was topless doing the naked politics thing. But God did send me here nude, no doubt. God being a relative term to all definitions of what that may mean to each individual. But I was sent here naked, and I did not do my video naked, so that's a step away from nature, if you ask me. But although I must admit I quite like clothes and wearing them all the time in public, so I'm not condoning nudist colonies or anything. But I do think that women who take on this misogyny or misogynist kind of attitude that require other women to cover themselves, or they should be ashamed, when it's just a little bit of skin at the top of one's chest, is absurd. We need to evolve beyond that. And I've made an effort to call out every single woman who's attacked me based on appearance, because women are the ones with the mental capacity or the brain structure, scientifically proven to have empathy and to show love and to connect the community and to support each other. Men have a different brain anatomy, perhaps is the word, where, they're focused on different things and have less power of empathy. But women have power of empathy, so we are actually able to really develop the feeling and the culture and the energy amongst our communities. And so the fact that there are women sitting there sort of reveling in hate and then spewing it on the wall to another woman about their appearance. As I said to one woman, actually, a leader of another party, political party, who spent last night attacking me and telling me that I dressed to sell sex. when I was, in a t-shirt and jeans and talking about political policy with a fully developed political policy outline published, which her party doesn't have. So, bit of confusion there. But no, I didn't dress to sell sex. I dressed for my weekend walk on the beach, outside where I'm living, and I didn't think anything of it. So it's amazing that people make all these assumptions and aspersions on your character because you dress in a t-shirt that shows a bit of cleavage. We're not in Saudi Arabia. We do have the liberty and freedom to express ourselves, to be who we want, to present ourselves in whatever way we want, and that should be respected. It's such a low-class thing to attack another person on their appearance. I could talk about this all day, but in the future, for anyone who does feel the need to spread hate on someone's wall, all you're doing is disclosing to everyone reading that you have something inside you which is hateful. It's just everything is a reflection. And the other thing is if you are disparaging someone for their appearance, then you are being a bully. And surely, I would like to see, now that I'm standing in Takapuna, I was thinking really obviously about my vision for what Takapuna could be, and one of the things that I have experienced is bullying and harassment, and so I really feel like it would be amazing to really look at the fact that our system does not have a mechanism to stop that happening. It does not have a solution. If someone starts to harass you and attack you, there is nothing you can do to stop it, especially if they're a compulsive liar. So, you can go to support networks, but there's not really any that help you unless you're being violently attacked. You can approach the mental health department of the North Shore Waitemata District Health Board, and they won't help you again unless someone's committed suicide or violently attacked or been criminally liable for mental illness. Then there's no methodology to protect you in their system. You can go to the police, and there's no way they can come and sit and talk to you, and then they can make uneducated judgments on who they think is good and bad. But there's no way for them to go, okay, we will put surveillance up to evidence who is harassing who, or we will, give you a counsellor to come and speak to both parties just to try and assess what's really going on, someone who's educated in the area of mental health and behaviour, and who can work through the issue with both parties in a constructive way. There's just no system in New Zealand that protects people against bullying and harassment. So we've got this out of control sort of energy taking people over and fueling nastiness or spitting nastiness on each other, and no system at all that prevents you or protects you from the wrath of another person's sort of verbal abuse or physical confrontation, unless they physically harm you, which is a huge deficiency in our law. And it's not just law, though. I mean, you can go and get a protection order to protect yourself, theoretically, but it's really... I love my dog. It's really about having a support system that starts to heal this energy within people. And, if you go to 6-star hotels, 5-star hotels around the world, you get this range of therapists who are incredible energy healers. When I go to the rainforest, I meet with Indigenous shamans who are, so just in harmony with nature and incredibly healing, and especially with the use of their ancient spiritual plants. So the fact is that our medicine and our health system does not take into consideration the fact that humans have a soul and a spirit, and that we have an energy within us that needs to also be healed, and that can only be done through, energetic masters, of whom I know a huge number, and I've got some profiled on my website that I represent or have worked with. And meditation, I've got to say, people who find themselves attacking other people online have to look within themselves and say, well, if I'm at peace, I'm not going to attack someone because they've got a political ideology, or they're a certain race, or they look a certain way, or they wear red lipstick and have blonde hair and have a bit of cleavage all in one view. If I'm attacking someone with any sort of negative energy, then that's a reflection on me, and I've got negative energy within me. So in that case, people there should be a system set up where people can access all this wealth of energetic knowledge to actually start to address and heal that energy through meditation, through mindfulness, through affirmations, and through working with these masters of energy. It's what the ancient cultures know so well. I mean, they can heal through that energy. They can clear the past hurt and emotion through that energy. It's mastery. And we, as a population, we need to go there, because right now, what I see and hear is that social media has kind of unleashed this beast of inner misery and statements that are just such obviously cries for help and confirmations of what's going on inside a person, but there's no system and no way to deal with that and improve that for people, and that's something we need to change. I would like to see North Shore absolutely lead the world in working to completely diminish mental health issues, especially when they are one person attacking another, and actually take people through that process of healing their spirit, healing their soul, healing whatever anger or emotional pain or insecurity or darkness that is within them that makes them viciously attack another person. I think that's just an incredibly powerful and important step forward for our culture. It's an endemic problem. We have to stop the bullying and the nastiness if we're to have respect and integrity and love and peace. We are, after all, as individuals, a reflection of our collective outcome. If we don't find peace individually,